pitch. This guy's just going to say no. Okay, now we're going to go into the wish board, and we're going to fetch up our flesh blood. And then you just blood, use the Caryatid, it's lethal. Again, just go through these triggers, and we're on to the next game. No, no, blood. Alright. Kami says, this is definitely not a Magic Online deck, triggers for days. You're not wrong. It is not for someone who doesn't want to learn the deck. It's not for people who want an easy combo. It's really fun though, and it's really technical. Fire Spout's kind of our ace in the hole. It's really, really good in this matchup. But we leave it in the wish board. You wish into it. A lot of the things that he's going to bring in that answer the Ascendancy. Sometimes Affinity players run Face Shield. Sometimes they run. Sometimes they run like. Excuse me. Sometimes they run Abrupt Decay. Sometimes they run stuff we can counter with the Swan Song. Swan Song will counter the Blast. There's a couple different ways you can go in this matchup. Sometimes they sideboard into like Thoughtseize, so then the Leyline answers both Thoughtseize and Burn. I mean, it just depends on how you want to board against them, what you imagine. Like, he looks like the Burn style. Obviously, we saw Gal Blast. That doesn't mean he doesn't have Thoughtseize. So, there's that to consider. There are multicolored spells you can run, yes. There's the Guttural Response we were trying. You think about building Storm? It's a neat deck, Orzhov. You don't play the Scarscale Ritual in the deck? No, you don't, Obsidian.Ghost. It is a wish target, because this thing is very clunky unless you're ready for it. It is very clunky unless you're ready for it. Yeah, it's a wish target. These are all wish targets. The 4th Ascendancy is a wish target. The Hydroform, the Reborn Growth, the Scarscale, the Spout, and, of course, the Flesh Blood. Things you can board out. You can board out. In this matchup, you don't necessarily need the peaks. I mean, the hand information is nice, but you can cut one. You could cut, for example, in this matchup, the Surgical is very bad because we can never pay for the... We can't, unless you have Caryatid, I can't pay for it. But you can leave him Revival because we have green mana, plenty of green mana. You can't take out the Probes, even though he's aggressive. So that's 2 spots. This counters Burn. This counters a lot of the stuff that he likely has for the Ascendancy, unless you want to be extra safe and also play around Abrupt Decay. That's what the Face Shield is for. We can cut a Stitch and run the 3 Swan Songs. I think that's fine. Counter Squall is tutable, yeah. We could maybe keep this. Now, mind you, we're running fewer lands now, so this isn't great. He did keep a 7. I almost want a hand that's less painful. This is a pretty painful hand. This hand looks a lot better because it's got all the pieces to the combo, and it's got the Caryatid. So it's got Ascendant. We can find the Ascendancy, and it's got the Caryatid. So keep with a Scry. Bottom the extra Caryatid. Now, if you thought seizes the Caryatid, the hand becomes a lot worse. Alchemist says combo took 6 minutes. It only took 6 minutes because I was explaining it. If you guys want this time through, I can like just focus on the combo and we can talk about it after the match if you're worried about my time. You're not crazy in being worried about my time. Your move. He didn't have a very explosive start, which means he may have heavy sideboard tech. Now, the vast majority of sideboard cards I'm worried about are colored. There's no colored mana on his side, so, you know. Alright, so we can get a white source here. Oh wow, we just drew the Ascendancy. That's fantastic. It makes it easier. Stuff. So we just get the basic planes. Alright, Caryatid. Caryatid will be our red source. So we got blue, white, red. Oh, there's the colored source. But he tapped it for a master, so if we draw land or Phyrexian spell, we go off next turn. We'll take it. How fast can the deck win? It can win a lot faster than I just did. Lover of Bacon. It's a matter of, you know, the 4th land is just awesome. We just go off. It's Magical Christmas for us. We can even just get the basic island. if you're worried about, like, I don't know, Mind Break Trap. It's kind of an awkward card for them to run. So something like this. So you ascend, and then you start with Sleight of Hand. I'm not sure what colors I want on the Cerulean just yet. Yes. Pitch a Stitch. Beautiful. Don't surgical me, bro. We'll take a land. Unfortunate, but that's okay. We can't bring back the Stitch just yet. But we can after I Cerulean. So we're going to Cerulean for blue since we know what we're doing. Again, I try to explain what's going on to you guys. Oh, another Cerulean is a great draw. So now we bring back Stitcher. Stitcher can untap a blue source, which is really nice for our fast tapping. We should be able to go much, much, much faster this time around. Let's Cerulean again. So we're going to float white because we have Glittering Wishes in hand. Pitch a Carrington. Float green. There's a Stitch. Glit Wish. Fast tap. Yes, fast tap. Yes. Pitch Fate. Glit Wish into the draw spell. I want to make sure we don't brick. That's the safest play possible. First we bring back Stitcher though. So you guys kind of see what's going on. Again, like when I play this combo deck, I don't like to leave you guys in the dust. Yeah, you can still turn 2. Or no, you can't. Not this version. This version is just a more resilient turn 3, actually. You can turn 2. There are versions that can turn 2, not this one. This one's specifically the turn 3. Okay. We can almost Whisper. We should set that up. Let's Glit Wish into another Ascendancy. So we're going to go green glitter. We have 8 minutes to go off. As long as I don't make any mistakes, he's just toast. So it doesn't really matter that I took a lot of game 1 explaining how the deck works to you guys, with you guys. And I think that's important. Yeah, if you run Bird or Noble Hierarch versions, yes, you can do it more quickly. That's the advantage to that. I think there's a lot of disadvantages to that deck too, though. You're more vulnerable to Bolt. You're more vulnerable to Terminate. You're more vulnerable to Path to Exile. So there's advantages and disadvantages to this version, and I've been playing this for a while now. I'm actually going to pitch the Wisps. Wisp is only relevant. The one of Crimson Wisp only matters if okay, he's had enough. He's had enough. So from here, we were going to go infinite. I was going to start buybacking the Muse right after this Ascendancy because we can make 6 mana. No, let me show you the list, team. I don't play Nobles. I don't play Noble or Bird. I mean, it's just a preference. I'm playing the hexproofed version that I built. You don't have to play this version. You can build this deck can be brewed a lot of different ways. I think that's what makes it an excellent brew. So you know, I think that's one of the beautiful things about this deck. It's got a toolbox sideboard. It's got a lot of neat things going on. How consistently do I win turn 3? Oh, all the time, man. It's just as simple. I'll show you. So it's just as simple as keeping a Carrington hand. If you keep a Carrington hand that has the Ascendancy, it's just a win because you play turn 2 Carrington, then you play turn 3 Ascendancy, and you just go off like we did there. I think that was the turn 3 kill, wasn't it? We can go back and watch. Do I need to relog my Magic Online? Details. We might need to relog Magic Online because it's not letting me go back to the data. Your opponent gets to nothing until you puzzle, then they lose his drag. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like playing Storm, I guess, in Legacy. Like, yes, once they cobble together the pieces, unless you make a play mistake or they have something clutch like a well-timed surgical, or Mind Break, they're pretty toast. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's not a fun deck to play. It might not be the most fun to play against if you're not an enthusiast like we are about like combo. You know, if you're not a combo enthusiast, no, it's not fun to play against. But neither is playing against Splinter Twin. Neither is playing against, you know, like I don't think that's a fair argument for this deck, Meme Dragon, to say that ooh, it's not a fun deck. Like, there are plenty of decks that it's not fun to play against besides us, like Normal Storm. you know, what Splinterton was doing, what Kinky Cord can do, what the Malira Company deck can do. Like, why is this deck any more degenerate? Like, because in paper you can just say, I'm gonna do this X amount of times, you know. Once you get to the Whispers of the Muse and you have like a, you know, legit loop, you could be like, I'm going to Whisper and untap and make, you know, blue mana, all of it, just, you know, 30 times because you have, you know, 20, you know, you have 31 cards left in your deck, and then I'm gonna kill you. You know. Let me listen to this.
Hey there, FamilyJewel7X here. If you're enjoying Aria's Ascent...
This is the metal version. Okay. It's $10. Maybe. Alright, thanks for sharing. Maybe. $10? That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, so let me scroll up because I was really focused on the combo there because everybody was worried. So Bafana 72. Basically what's happening is you have creatures that tap for mana. If you look at how Ascendancy reads, it says whenever I cast a non-creature spell, creatures I control get +1/+1 until end of turn, untap those creatures. So they're growing until the end of the turn, they're also untapping. Whenever I cast a non-creature spell, I may draw a card. If I do, discard a card. So that's where the Fate Stitchers come in. You're actually not losing card. You can turn this into pure card advantage when you're discarding things like lands and Fate Stitchers. You turn it into advantage, an advantage for the deck. So basically, you're going through your deck, you're making the creatures bigger. Another way to kill besides how we killed him, which was the Flesh Blood or him conceding to the second Ascendancy, I don't blame him. Typically when I see players playing something aggressive like Affinity or Burn and we get the combo going, they just concede. It's just perhaps their mindset or they just done. That's fine. You know, if they want to do something else, I don't blame them at all. Odds were, you know, I showed him that I knew how to play my deck round one. You know, you and I sitting here, we all knew that I probably was going to get there, so it's perfectly reasonable for the concession there. That's like conceding to Splinter Twin. That's like conceding to a Storm player in Modern or Legacy or Vintage. You know, it's fine. It's, you know, I don't think he was wrong necessarily. Thought Scour can be fine, Overmaster, if you have knowledge about the top cards with visions, but when you describe those to the bottom? If Burn plays Eidolon, okay, so ways to remove the Eidolon, we actually cut the Wear Tear. Wear Tear was a great wishable ability, a wishable card to get rid of Eidolon. These days I'm countering Eidolon, actually. I'll play turn 1 fetch land, preferably Strand or Misty Rainforest, and we're on the play. Or you don't have to be on the play, this is a 1-mana spell. So basically you leave up white-blue mana, and then they go to cast Eidolon, you swan it. You can wish into Fire Spout and kill all the ground creatures. So we have multiple ways in the board to answer Eidolon. Game 1 Eidolon, unless we went off quickly, can just be game. And we realize that. I know that fully. But I don't think we're going to main deck some of these very specific. The only one we could maybe main deck is Swan Song, but it's not really a main deck card. How's Thought Scour better than Draw? It's just for Fate Stitcher. Honestly, I've played the deck for a long time, and I just prefer the buyback spell because it lets you go infinite. It lets us run more creatures. It lets us run more non-creature spells, more lands, and like a lot of the Ascendancy decks are like 17 land decks. I think that's very greedy. So since we're running the Lumbering Falls, we're running a 18 land variant, and I'm also running the playset of Carrington. Exactly, David. I'm in the same seat. We actually played this deck for a few months with Birds, and we were even thinking about testing Noble Hierarch and almost bought into Hierarchs. But the big thing there is you're not really gaining a lot. In Modern, there's a lot of creature removal being played, or none at all. So the decks are very polarized. Like, you've got decks that are like, I have all this creature removal. You have other decks that are like, I don't run any. So it's either really awesome that you have Birds and Noble Hierarch, or it's the worst card in your deck. And the fact that it's so polarized made me just want to play Carrington, because Carrington's always good. It's not going to get killed, it accelerates, it's all the colors you need. Why run Visions? So Visions, again,